Vikings OTAs reached phase 2, and I'm joined by Vikings reporter for the Star Tribune, Andrew Krammer. And Andrew, there's an era of difference out here, a lot of new faces for everyone to really get to know and see. What are some of the changes that you've seen from OTAs in the past to what you've been seeing the past few weeks?
I think it's just the vibe and the attention on offense. Certainly it's natural with Kevin O'Connell taking over this, but seeing him take an active interest in Kellen Mond, younger quarterbacks, younger players, and just kind of seeing, like with any change that comes along with coaches, just seeing that excitement and that energy around here, which with the new players coming in, new ways of doing things around here, I think that's to be expected.
You mentioned Kellen Mond, and there's been a lot of talk about this backup quarterback position. Wes Phillips, offensive coordinator, spoke about him today. What was your biggest take home from that comment?
Yeah, I think Kellen Mond's really going to have a chance, and I think that's what he didn't maybe have so much last year as a rookie, which with a lot of rookies, it's tough coming in, but having an offensive-minded head coach and somebody, like I said, seems to be taking an active interest in his development, that's only going to help him. And from what I've heard, this is a pretty quarterback-friendly system and scheme, and one that might try to play a little bit to his strengths as well, and so I think that's only good for him.
What is the type of coach interaction that you have seen? You know, Kevin O'Connell being an offensive guy, he's worked with Kirk Cousins before. What have you seen as far as interactions during this?
Well, I think I've just seen him he's only 36, right? So I think he's younger, he relates more with the players. He's the kind of guy who I think can joke around with them and have that kind of bond with them a little more than maybe a more veteran coach might have. So I think with Kevin being not too far away from his playing days, I think that helps him. I think that helps him relate with guys. And being a former quarterback too, he understands so many different positions on the field and can then also help different guys at different positions kind of learn and understand the game from a broader perspective. So, but what stood out to me, even just in that first OTA that we saw out here, was the amount of time he spent with some of the younger players, just one-on-one. And I think you can tell he's really trying to take an active interest in that.
It's that learning mentality he's been preaching. You see it in action. What's an exciting player or someone or a play that you've seen that's really jumped off the page for you?
Well, I think this running back room is really deep, and it's fun to watch Kene Nwangwu out here. It's fun to watch Madison, Cook, those guys, and I'm really interested to see how they creatively get those guys involved, because they have a lot of different talents, a lot of versatility, and Kene's a guy we didn't get to see so much on offense. I'm really curious to see if they get him more involved there on the offensive side, and he's going to be a fun one to watch.
I'm going to flip that to the defensive side of things. Several new faces. Is there one particular player that you've had your eyes on the most while being out here for phase 2?
Well, it's Darius Smith, right? I mean, the new guy here, the new yin to Danielle Hunter's yang. I mean, just pairing those guys together, I think if they're both healthy and if they both play the entire season, this could be one of the NFL's best pass rushing duos. And without the pads, we don't get to see too much from them out here in OTAs, but you can just tell those two guys are forming a bond, and those two guys are both bona fide and proven in the league. And so I think that's the pair to watch really on defense for sure.
So many storylines, and as you said, it's really hard to tell how this team's going to come together until they put on the pads later on in OTAs. But thank you so much to Andrew Krammer with the Star Tribune for joining us out here at Vikings OTAs.